This video is made possible by the following mad lads. All their awesome gear they supplied to me can be checked out in the description below. Hey guys, I'm about to get very sweaty boy here, and welcome back to RaceRoom for another video. So after begging and pleading and favours that may or may not have been of a sexual nature, I've finally got my hands on the new and upcoming Group C cars. These cars aren't actually out yet, but I'm fairly sure they're due for release very soon, and included within this Group C pack is, as you can see on the screen, the Nissan R90CK, or the Nissan Rock as I like to call it, and my best bay, the Porsche 962C. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll be knowing that the Porsche 962 in Assetto Corsa is actually one of my favourite cars to drive in sim racing full stop. So because of that, I'm going to be trying out the Porsche today and leaving the Nissan for another video. The list of achievements for the 962 is pretty damn long, so I'm not going to read them out in video right now. Go and check Wikipedia. They were successful for good reason, powered by a 3-litre twin-turbocharged flat-6 engine, producing somewhere in the region of 750 brake horsepower. This particular version of the car is running in the high downforce trim as opposed to the more perhaps recognisable low downforce trim you've seen for circuits like Le Mans, which means this thing has the glorious double wang, or double wing, on the back of it, which is good because I think rear wings should always be the size of a door. But enough chatting about it, let's go and actually drive the thing. I'm going to be doing a 6-lap race around Suzuka because Group C around Suzuka is actually a lot of fun. And as you can see on the left there, we have a full field of cars, 46 cars including myself taken to the circuit. Best thing, I'm starting right at the back. I've also cranked up the force feedback to try and emulate some of the forces you get in these Group C cars. There's a video somewhere that I'll try and remember to link in the description of, I think it's Johnny Dumfries driving one of the Group C cars, and you can just hear him groaning and wailing in the cockpit as he's trying to turn the wheel. Kind of sounds like he's giving birth, but it gives you an idea of just how heavy the cars were to drive. Well, here we are then, rolling start at the Suzuka circuit inside our Porsche 962. I'm in second gear right now. Putting away, you can hear the boost building, wait for the line, and there it is, away we go for 6 laps here at Suzuka. I've got the cars turned up very loud in my headphones for that authentic Group C experience. Already down to T1, all the cars getting a little bit lower, so we've got a bit of traffic jams. Let's try and go around that, shall we? Somewhere around here. Let's try and go on the outside. Nissan's everywhere, on the power, and then turbos! The surge there, we've gone from P46 to P33 at T1. I always love AI in first corners. Name a more iconic duo. Through the S's for the first time. Tyres are cold, they feel cold. And the car feels heavy. Coming up through Dunlop now for the first time. We'll go up into third gear. You can hear the turbo chatter as we get off the power, and now up to the first deck. Now we've got to be very careful on the curb on the inside. It throws the car over to the left if you hit it too hard, so we try not to hit it too hard. Second deck now, a little bit off boost, but when it picks up, my word, does it go! Down to the hairpin then for the first time, and again, cars slow. I'm kind of stuck to the inside here. I think I've put a few too many cars in the circuit, bless. I'm starting to get a bit confused. Up to P29, P28 ahead of me. To the outside, all understeering there. You have to remember this car doesn't quite have the grip of a modern prototype. It still has a lot low. Coming up to the spoon curve, look to the inside here. No, not quite close enough for that, and as a result, I get slowed up, and the port behind me gets very close. He goes up the inside, tries to. Oh, he gives me a bit of hip and shoulder. All right, mate, I thought we were Porsche friends, and now you get a good look, though, at that glorious double wang. Look at that thing. Absolutely awesome piece of engineering that. Brakes through 130R, bit of dirty air, so I have to try and scrub some speed off. Heel and toe, of course, on the way down in this thing. Otherwise you run the risk of locking the rear wheels. That's 1 lap down. 5 to go. Check my mirror, made up a lot of places there, made up 16 positions. I'm into 5th gear, first time really getting to the top of the speed of this thing now, 290 kilometers an hour. Oh, I overshot that a bit in the T1. You can hear my tyres struggling for grip down in the T1. And I must say, this is very good. I really enjoy this car. I've been driving this car a lot off stream just to get a feel for it. I got hold of it last night, and pretty much my entire morning up until now I've been driving this thing. I've driven a Nissan too, but I think I prefer the Porsche so far. I should be in third gear through here. Get the wheel spinning. Oh, you see what happens there? I tried to get on the power to go up to third gear. The rear tyres just broke free. All the power goes through them. They couldn't quite contain it. This Nissan's not too quick in the corners. From what I've noticed, the Porsche seems to be a bit quicker in cornering, whereas the Nissan has a better acceleration. Top speed, I'm not too sure yet, though. This thing, from what I've seen, is pretty damn quick in a straight line. Quick enough to not have any disadvantage to the Nissan anyway, but don't really like using first gear through there, but you have to use it sometimes. Long right-hander, the load really starts to increase on your left arm there as you're holding it in. 40 back so far hasn't been too bad. I'm sweating a bit, but otherwise it's manageable. I can feel every little bump in the road. I get onto the curb there. You can feel it rumble. This thing's like a bloody rocket ship. It's very easy to over-rev though, I have noticed that. I try and shift around 8. But you can shift a little bit later than that if you want, but I think you start losing power after that, so it's not really worth doing. Oh God, I got that shift wrong. There's a Nissan on my inside. Have a look there. They're using that grunt of the Nissan to come back at me. Let's see what he's got down to T1, shall we? Struggling with the rear wheels there. I hope that comes across in the footage. The car is skating around at the rear there. There is grip. It is gripping, but it's also sliding. Down to third gear for T1, that's a lot better. My shifts could use some work on the downshift. RaceRoom's a lot less forgiving on downshifts than other games are. So I tend to stay in third from here, then go down to second, because you're right on the boost then. You can just get the acceleration. And then we try and go into third through Dunlop. We'll try this lap. I do have a Nissan in the way though. Look, we've got the corner than me, so I've got to go third early. There you go, you can feel just as you get to that little bump there coming up the hill, the turbo start to come on. Look at that! He got that wrong. I'm now stuck on the inside, hit the curb, run over the curb. It's horrible. I couldn't go any wider than that. I would have hit the Nissan. It's so easy on that curb just to get ejected to the left-hand side of the course. Now, I had a little bit of trouble getting my force feedback set up on this. I say trouble, the settings I had before didn't really feel too great. Luckily though, I had a word with one of the devs who gave me some settings, and it now feels very good indeed. Definitely on par, if not actually I think a bit better than the AC 962. Of course we're running a slightly different config of it, but still feels very good indeed. From what I can tell, no adjustable boost, so I can't turn up the boost for turbo stronk. But to be honest, you don't need it. You're going quick enough already here. AI have started to pull away a bit from me, feeling a bit lonely now. Brush the brakes on the way through, turning back on the power. Shouldn't have touched the curb there. You can see how it really upsets the car on the way through. Don't really like using first through here, but I kind of have to. It just nips at you. But the nip is with incredibly sharp teeth. I know, I love the experience of driving a Group C car. It's just so manual, it feels so positive. Oh God, speaking of positive, there goes my gearbox. That was crunched. Tried to shift down a bit too early, got to get past this Nissan. Hold it in second gear. There you go, finally passed. Had to do it there, he was slowing me up. So up to 28th now. Positions have slowed down a bit and I'm starting to feel it in my arms through the S's. Starting to feel it now. It feels a bit more subtle though than the way when I ever did high force feedback in the 962 in AC. It just felt strong for the sake of being strong. It feels like it loads up properly. Especially in that kind of lower speed stuff, it really is hard to crank the wheel around. Try a late turn in, try and get the power early. You've got to be so careful, because there's the power. Doesn't come progressively, not at all. You gotta imagine the power graph basically being like that. But we are gaining on the cars in front. It's important to get the heel and toe done early, and then you can focus on the cornering itself. You don't want to be moving the car around with braking and downshifting, especially if you aren't quite If you aren't smooth, I'm not quite there yet in this car. Very easy to make the car wobble mid-corner, which is just going to slow you down. Again, brush with the brakes, trying to avoid the curb this time. A bit too serious. That time I was a bit too scared of the curb, so I really missed the corner. And see, that's what happens when you don't shift down early enough. But we are catching the guys in front. Just hear the rev peak as the rear tyres scramble for grip. I am 100% going to be doing an event with this car. 100%. We have to do it. GTOs in this. What a race that would be. That's better. That's better. I turned in a bit too early there, but I had the grip. And now we're starting to catch the guys in front. Third gear. The front tyres aren't quite there. The setup isn't quite there for the S's. Again, I'm starting to feel it through here, being a bit more aggressive now. I can see the guys in front. Gives you a bit of a second wind. I got that all sorts of wrong. Line was terrible, and you can see the car just starting to step out again there. Managed to catch it before it did it. It's quite unrecoverable once you go past a certain angle. First second, that was quicker than normal. To the outside, maybe. No, not quite close enough for that. Oh, God. See, I just put a bit too much into the front tyres there, and they just did not react. They said, no, we're understeering now. Luckily, I felt it go, and the thing is, my arms couldn't really react to it. They're starting to get a bit warm now, especially because you have one hand off the wheel for a lot of the lap. Make your shifts as quick as possible. So 5th to 3rd there. And down a second for the second part. Come on, get in left foot braking. Power, 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 power. A little bit of a wiggle there at the rear as everything sets down. I'm starting to rev just a little bit over 8 now. Feels like there's a bit more power up there I can get. Oh, this is good fun, this is. Oh, crunch. It's okay. Stewards going watching. With this setup, you really can't attack the curbs too much. You really feel it in the wheel. Right, okay, come on. Coming on to lap number 5, so this is the penultimate lap. No, this is the last lap, sorry. Here we go, lap 6 now. Oh, I've missed a gear. Missed a gear on the way down. Off I go. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Start the car back up. Oh, no, disaster. Absolute disaster. It just goes to show you have to be on it at all times in this car, or that happens. You know what, usually I'd restart the video there and start again because I like to do races without mistakes, so I like to drive the car to its full potential, but I want to keep that in. I want to show you guys that this car is unforgiving. The reason why I went off there is I missed a gear, I didn't get my engine braking, the car did not want to slow down, and off I went. And once you're in the gravel on this thing, that's it. That's the end of that. But anyway, let's have an ultra aggressive last lap, shall we? Cut the Nissan off. Sorry, mate. No Nissans allowed. Smash the power and exit. Let the rear tyre sort it out. I missed the gear again. Trying too hard now. Not the best drive out there, but a bloody fun one. Come on. Down the third gear. Been really, really purposeful now with my inputs, because obviously my inputs have not been great. That's why I'm missing the gear. Right, let's see if we can get a good run through 130R. I know the Nissans aren't so quick through there. There we go. Roll it through. Back on the power. That was the best time I've done that all race. Not close enough. Crunch it over the curb. Come on, 962. Damn it, not close enough. There we go. Checker flag. We finished P35 after being up in P286 or so. So I've had worse races, but my word, what a load of fun that was. I mean, I hope that came across in the video. That car is beautiful to drive. It just It feels intuitive, which is quite rare to have in a simulator, where the car, you feel like you can push it. I say that a lot, actually. I say that whenever I feel the car is good, I feel like you can push it. And I feel like you can push this car to its outer limits. Of course, you'll probably crash a few times on the way there like I did, but definitely possible. And as I said during the video, I 100% want to run an event with this car. I think it could be awesome. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you to the guys at RaceRoom for letting me try this out before it's released. Make sure to go give it a go yourself when it does come out. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, of course, hit subscribe to be notified of future streams and future videos. I'm sweating like a pig right now, so I'm going to go have a bath. But before I go, big thank you to my sponsors and to my patrons. Take care, have an awesome day, see you all next time.